Over the many decades of keeping reptiles, we've learned ways to keep them properly, and we call those care guides. And there are good ones, and then there's bad ones. So today, let's look at some of these PetSmart care guides and let's rip them to pieces, because I'm gonna guess they're pretty bad. My name's Adam, this is Diamond, you're watching Wickens Wicked Reptiles. Stick around. So I think that maybe PetSmart gets a bad rap. We've done one of these videos before, and it turns out that the care guide was actually really bad, the two that we did. And thanks to Lexi, I found a whole bunch, well, she sent me a whole bunch of these care guides from PetSmart from the US that I couldn't find here in Canada, including bearded dragons. Why we don't have a bearded dragon care guide pamphlet at PetSmart here is beyond me. But anyway, let's start off with bearded dragons. Diamond's gonna help, and let's get going. Okay, so first things first, I like how they actually show you kind of a diagram or like a layout of what the enclosure should look like. And it does say at the very beginning here that the experience level is beginner. I wouldn't really say that. I guess you can get away with it, but the reason is they need a bigger enclosure than most beginners are willing to have, higher basking spots. Let's just get into it and we can critique from there. So experience level, beginner, size, bearded dragons can grow up to 24 inches. Okay, that's perfect. Lifespan, bearded dragons live approximately 10 years. What year is this care guide from? 2020. So this is from 2020 and we're saying that bearded dragons only lived to 10 years. Okay, no. 15 years, like if you're barely trying, even longer than that. So no. So here, let's just mark it up here, okay? So that's right, that's wrong. Behavior. Bearded dragons are friendly and are known to communicate with one another through waves and head bobs. Okay, so yes, bearded dragons are friendly with humans. However, communicating with each other through waves and head bobs are aggressive or dominating, domineering, whatever the word is that I'm looking for here. And waving is submissive for the most part. So females will wave to a male who is head bobbing to indicate, yes, let's breed, let's get it on. They will head bob to each other, males especially, to kind of assert dominance. They're about to fight if this happens. And then if a male waves to another male, then basically showing submissive. And even then, you might be hosing them off the side of the glass. So, I mean, sure. So it kind of gives you a little layout here of what your bearded dragon enclosure should look like. Now, if the bearded dragon is actually this size, and the enclosure is actually this size, I think you'd be okay, but I imagine that they're going to tell you that you're going to need a 40 or 75 gallon. We'll get to that in a second. So daytime temperature, 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, this is the cool side. Okay, sure. I probably wouldn't go as low as 75, but that's fine. It'll definitely be fine. That gradient is fine. Basking spot, 95 to 100. I guess it's close enough. I mean, you can go all the way up to like 110 for beardies. Give them a range, right? So they have a 110 degree basking spot, and then they have a basking spot that's 100, somewhere in the middle. Diamond likes his around 105. Night temperature, 65 to 75. Sure, I actually don't think that's a problem at all. And the humidity, 20 to 30%. This is unrealistic. You're not gonna get your humidity down to 20%. Likely, you can go all the way up to 40% and be fine. And at night, it's gonna spike into the 60s. That's totally cool too, as long as for the daytime. Why it doesn't have a warm side temperature is beyond me, but it's important because you want ambient temperature on the cool side, ambient on the warm side, and then a basking spot, which is the surface temperature of the place that the bearded dragon will be sitting underneath the heat bulb. So that kind of sucks. But let's find out how you set up a bearded dragon terrarium. So reptile carpet or tile is the best for bearded dragons. Remove droppings as needed. Clean at least every other week. Okay, so no, reptile carpet is completely trash. And the reason that they promote it is because they sell it. So the reason that it's trash is two reasons. It's a breeding ground for bacteria. Reptile carpet is. I mean, their feces is disgusting and stinky. So even if you clean it up immediately, still you have to wash it every time, which is unrealistic. And also they can get their nails caught in it. I actually had a leopard gecko named Cheech get his nails caught in one of these death traps, basically, and he bled all over the enclosure. He's still alive. It's fine. We treated it, but unnecessary. Tile is fine. That works. I prefer a substrate that it's made of cocoa core and sand. In my opinion, naturalistic is better for adults, not for babies. So No, that sucks. Bearded dragon terrariums require a temperature gradient, a cool side and a warm side. Yes, which you neglected to put over here, unless I missed it, which I'm not because I'm reading it again. Add thermometers and a hygrometer to monitor temperature and humidity. Mist your bearded dragon daily with warm water spritz to maintain humidity. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so here you want us to have 20% humidity, which is next to none. And here you want us to maintain a higher humidity with spritzing with warm water. In what world do you live? That's like saying, oh, sure is dry and humid outside, like pick one. No. Don't spray your bearded dragon. It's unnecessary. You can spray leaves sometimes and they'll drink off the leaves, but I mean, they're going to get most of their moisture from the vegetables that they eat anyway. This is ridiculous. And give them a little tiny water bowl if you want, whatever. Yeah, no. Reptiles require 12-hour day-night cycles. Well, some of them do. UVA, UVB bulb will help your bearded dragon absorb calcium. Yes. Okay, so, I mean, sure, whatever. Add driftwood or rock to climb a little closer to the heat source. Add a few branches for hiding and climbing. Yep, I agree with that. Today's episode was partnered with The Ridge Wallet. I love this wallet. It's tiny, but still holds up to 12 cards, holds all my money, and the Ridge key case holds all my keys. That's it. I can leave the house with just this. It fits in one pocket, and I barely know it's there. I travel all around the world. Packing light is all that matters to me. And if I can get from point A to point B with this, all my ID, all my money. Also, it's got 50,000 5-star reviews. 50,000 people, can't be wrong. And it's in 30 colors, by the way. This is my favorite, carbon fiber. It's just, I can't think of a better way to have your everyday carry. And you can get the best offer with ridge.com/WWR. And all the way until December 22nd, you can get up to 40% off. ridgewallet.com/WWR. So funny, I watched one of my good friends get a sponsorship from PetSmart, and I guess it'll never happen, but that's fine because I'll tell you what, this is like, there's no excuse for this anymore. This is why it makes me so upset. Because you could literally consult an expert. You could consult an expert, but you choose not to. And how vague it is too. Like, I know you have to recycle these, but at the same time, you're a multi-million-dollar, I don't know, maybe billion-dollar corporation. I don't know how big PetSmart is. You can pay someone, you know, $100,000 to proof all of these and run it by. Like, give me a break. Okay. What should I feed my bearded dragon? Young bearded dragons are omnivores. Approximately 50% insects and 50% plant matter. Well, I wouldn't say that's true. I would say it's about 30% insects and 70%, math is hard, 30% insects, 70% plant matter as they're adults, and then it's basically the opposite as they're babies, and it changes. As they mature, they will eat more vegetables and transition. Okay, so approximately 90% plant matter. I'm actually okay with that, because I said 70, but I mean, it might be 70 to 90. So, sorry, PetSmart, I'll bite my tongue there. So yeah, I would say that's correct, actually. Maybe I should read it before I critique it. How about that? All right, insects. Gut-loaded insects, crickets, or dubia roaches, 1 times daily. But you just said that 90... Mealworms, superworms, and waxworms should be offered as only as small amounts. Dust food with calcium and the D3 powder. So it actually gives you like a regimen here of how often to supplement. But here's the thing. You know what? It actually does work. Because it says 2 or 3 times a week as adults, and dust food with a multivitamin 1 time a week, or 2 times a month as an adult. So this is actually right, because it kind of gives you adult versus juvenile. So I actually like that. That makes sense. Vegetables, fresh dark leafy greens, carrot, squash, and peas can be, sure, that works. Greens, carrot, squash. Yes, that's right. And I'm glad it doesn't say spinach anymore, because the old ones I think said spinach, which is calcium binding, and you don't want to feed your bearded dragon that all the time. Fruits like melons, berries, and citrus may be offered 1 time a week. Yep, that's fine too. As long as your bearded dragon is not getting too fat, you're a-okay to do that. Prepared diets. Bearded dragon, pellet food, moistened with water. I don't really like prepared food. So I would say no. There's no need for it. You don't need it. Water clean daily and provided at all times. Sure. You don't really need to give a bearded dragon standing water. I do, because I make a living posting things on the internet, and I'll get flamed by people who don't know better, or read these and take them as gospel. But I mean, if you want to give them a small water dish on the cool side so it doesn't create too much humidity, there's no harm in doing that. When should I contact a veterinarian? This is all basically like common sense stuff. Avoidance of basking area, more time spent hiding was check your basking spot first. It's probably too hot. Increased basking time. I don't know about that. Yeah, so it doesn't say throughout the entire... Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right, shopping checklist. What will we need for my bearded dragon? 10 to 20 gallon terrarium or larger. Adults require at least 40 gallons. So there it is. There's the silly goosery. The absolute ridiculous... This makes me so upset. No, you're wrong. This is not correct. You need 120 gallons. You're not even close. You're not even close. I do not understand this. So no, you suck. Screen lid, sure, UVB, yeah, basking, habitat, thermometer, water bowl, artificial rock, wood, whatever. Okay, all the rest of this, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the very top one, it's telling you to get an enclosure that is way, way too small. Overall, here, let's tally it up here. We'll do like a something out of 10 here. Just off the bat, the fact that they couldn't figure out the lifespan, there's no cool end. What was the thing up here? Dragons remove droppings. Oh, the reptile carpet. Not a fan. Not a fan. But the chunk of it was good. I'm going to give this... let's give it 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. But here's the thing. You can't take just this. Okay? You can't take just this and say, I know how to take care of a bearded dragon. Just like you can't watch my care guide, which I did right here, and say you know how to take care of a bearded dragon. It changes depending on, well, there's different styles, of course, but also I might forget something. So you pick it up in a care guide or a book or whatever. Just like this is forgetting a lot of things and is just flat out wrong for most things. So you need to make sure that you go to a more reputable source to get your information, because I would go to a breeder or a reptile shop who's a reptile expert rather than a company that makes a small percentage of their profit off of bearded dragons and reptiles. These are not reptile specific people. These are not reptile experts. There might be some in stores, but the most time if you go to a store and you see a veiled chameleon and it's got no branches, they won't even know why that's a problem. So I don't recommend going off of these PetSmart care guides. I think this one in particular sucked. Let me know. Should we do more of these? We've got a whole bunch. What do we got here? Pac-Man frogs, long-tailed lizards, Cuban false chameleons, white tree frogs, aquatic turtles. That should be an interesting one. Aquatic turtles. You want to see that one next week? We're doing a whole bunch more videos now. We can do it if you want. Leave a comment in the description below. The comment section. You can't write in the description. I write in the description. Either way, I want to say thanks. If you liked the video, please hit like and subscribe. It really helps this channel more than you could ever imagine. It's because of you guys that these videos get put out and the channel grows. And a special thanks to the Patreon supporters. You guys get videos early. You guys get all the trip videos from Asia last month. Extra duper early, extra duper early, extra super duper early. All that and more. Discounts on merch and behind the scenes and the whole thing for as little as $1 a month. And because we do videos either twice or more now per week, that means that I'll see you in the next one.